Hey, beautiful souls. I'm Sarah, your soul oracle, deconditioning coach, and Mira here at Soul Heart Intuitive Coaching. And this is your energy update for the week of January 25th to January 31st. So this week, the energy starts to shift and it's electric, but it's not in a chaotic way. It's not chaos that you're feeling. It's a crackling undercurrent, a pulse. Something sacred is starting to quicken, not with noise, but with vision, not with pressure, but with potential. And if you're listening enough, or if you're quiet enough to listen, you'll feel it. Neptune is going to enter the sign of Aries on January 26th, or re enter the sign of Aries. The dream is going to start to wake up and it asks you to move. So, this is soul fire, it's sacred action. It's a new cycle of vision that's beginning, but only if you're honest about what's real. Because this isn't about chasing fantasies, it's about honoring your ideals and having the courage to live with them. The next day, January 27th, Mars is going to meet Pluto in Aquarius. This is big energy. It's potent, it's charged, it's transformational. It's a power surge, but one that needs awareness. So you could move mountains with this, or you could burn bridges. Your will is strong, so how will you use it? What do you stand for, and who are you becoming? So don't just react, root into intention. And then on January 29th, Mercury is going to conjunct Venus, both in the sign of Aquarius. This is mind meeting heart, art meeting message, and thought meeting feeling. It's time to speak from your soul, not just what you know, but what you care about. This is the voice of the visionary, the poet, the bridge builder. So let your words hold beauty. Let your ideas carry love. So know this week isn't soft, but it is sacred. Not because it asks you to push harder, but because it dares you to get clearer on what you want, on what you believe, on what you're here to create. You're not waiting for the shift anymore. You are the shift. So let the spark catch, let the root dream, and let the power move through you with clarity, purpose, and love. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about being fully present for the moment that's arriving right now, right here, inside of you. So make sure you take a breath. Remember, you're not behind. You're right on time. And everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You're not leaving the path. You are the path. So, general energy overview for the week. We have the odd, which is destiny. Taurus, I have. And the water element, sensing. So while this week you don't see a lot of the energy in the cards like you have in weeks past, it's still there. It's still present. So we're at a precipice point. Now, later on in the month of February, Neptune is going to meet up with the sign of Saturn, which is one of the big aspects for the year. It is at 0 degrees of Aries. It is a marker point for what is going on. This is the destiny card. You have the opportunity over the course of the next few weeks to start to do something that you are meant to do. Have the courage to do it. Use that Neptune and Aries and harness that energy to have the courage to take a leap that you might not have wanted to take before, that you might have been too afraid to take. It's okay to be afraid, but you have to take a leap at some point in time and do something different. You have to venture outside of your comfort zone. That is what life is all about. So take the leap this week. Do something different. Have the courage to do it. Taurus, I have. Uranus is wrapping up its stay in Taurus over these first few months. Wrap up the lesson that you have been learning about what it is that you value. What is the shakeup in the things that you value? What is it exactly that you need in order to live? Those are the keys for right now. So pay attention and wrap up that sign of Taurus as you have something important going on right now that you need to pay attention to. And water element, sensing. Feel into your intuitive side. You have the ability and to do that, to walk through what your intuition is telling you. The universe is pointing the way, but you have to be willing to listen to what it has to say. So pay attention to what it is that the universe wants you to do. It has a reason for it, even if you don't completely understand it. So pay attention to what it is that the universe wants you to do. So now I've pulled cards for each of the zodiac signs, and the messages, they're layered. So the sun and our rising sign are where the gold lives each week, and that's where your future self is whispering to you through the veil. So pay attention. Let's tune in. This isn't a matter of controlling the outcome, but to mirror back what your soul already knows is ready to shift. So let this be your pause, your anchor, and your reminder that this energy isn't here to break you, it's here to recalibrate you. So, Aries, your card this week is hydrate. It's important to pay attention to how much water you are consuming this week. Make sure you fill yourself up. As Neptune moves into your sign, it may start to shift how it is that you process those fluids. So make sure that you're getting plenty of nutrition and hydration, as those are important for you so that you can get the impact of what it is that you want to experience. Taurus, your card this week is vibration. Pay attention to the energy that not only you are radiating, but other people are radiating towards you. Vibration is something that we don't often pay enough attention to. Oftentimes, we are just go, 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 move, 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 instead of actually sitting in the quiet, like earlier in the conversation we were talking about. This is a time for you to sit, to wonder, to think, and to really tap into what it is that you are giving off and other people are giving off to you, and then using that information and paying attention to what that information has to tell you. Are you doing things that you don't necessarily know that you're doing by the way that you're vibrating? Look for those. Pay attention to those. What feedback are you getting from other people? Are people creeped out around you? Or are other people trying to spend as much time around you as possible? Either one is a possibility in today's society, but you're always giving off a vibration whether you think that you are or not. So pay attention to what that vibration is. Gemini, your card this week is control. How are you controlling yourself, the environment, or how are other people controlling you? That is your focus this week. So if you're not thinking about, well, other people aren't controlling me, well, maybe they are, and you just don't realize it yet. You may think that they have your best interest at heart, but maybe they don't. Maybe they have their best interest at heart, and they're just trying to bring you along for the ride because they need something from you. Not because it is something that you want or something that is in your best interest, but because it is something that's in theirs. Control is something that is something that we do because we are afraid. If we're trying to control our own environment, it's because we're afraid of something. If other people are trying to control us, it's because they are afraid of something. So look for what those mechanisms of control are in your life. What are they doing to your life? And this is a time where you can step away from that and you can start to make shifts and you can start to make changes. Things don't have to remain the same. This is a destiny point. You can step out of this lesson and you can move on to something new. But first, you have to recognize it for what it is. And sometimes control is just a sense of fear. Cancer, your card this week is unconditional love. It is important that you put unconditional love out into the world. It is something that we all desperately need. It is something that you desperately need. Unconditional love is the highest form of love and vibration that there is. But you have to be willing to tackle your own demons first in order to reach it and to attain it. And it's something that is a practice. It's not something that you do once and then you can be like, okay, I've done it, I've reached it, I'm there. Life is like peeling layers of an onion. You're always going to have to be tackling something new and something different in order to reach that vibration and maintain that vibration. Now, if you slip and you fall, you can get back up. You can redo the lesson again. It's whatever works for you. But this is a time when you need to be going through that process. Work to that goal of attaining that highest sense of love that you possibly can, as it is important for not only for yourself, but for the world. So pay attention to what unconditional love has to teach you this week. Leo, your card this week is reawaken. So, Leo, you may have fallen asleep. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's all part of the process. Sometimes we go through stages. We awaken and then we fall back asleep. And then we awake and we fall back asleep. It's part of the process. The important thing is that you get back on the bandwagon and you reawaken to what it is that's coming up in your life and you see things for what they are. There's nothing wrong with having stopped for a period of time. But right now, it's important that you get back up and you do the work and you start to move forward. Virgo, your card this week is boundaries. You need to set some boundaries, Virgo, for yourself and for other people. Now, it's a two-way street, like it is with anything. You can set the boundaries, but are you enforcing the boundaries? Are you allowing other people to infringe on your boundaries and just being like, oh, they need it more than I do? Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they just think that they do, or maybe you just think that they do. Boundaries are important. They help to protect your energy. Your energy is your energy. Their energy is their energy. So let your boundaries speak for you this week. Make sure you enforce them. Make sure you keep them, as there is something within that framework that you need so that you can move forward onto the next phase. So reinforce your boundaries this week. And if you don't have any, it's a great time to set them. Libra, your card this week is barriers. So barriers are a little different than boundaries. Barriers are kind of more like walls. You're setting something up in front of you. Now, are you doing it purposely to protect yourself? Or are you doing it unconsciously because you've been hurt? Either one, the barrier doesn't need to be there. I repeat, the barrier does not need to be there. The barrier is there because you constructed it because of something that you thought that you needed, but you don't actually need it. Whatever it is that you experienced was part of a lesson. And that lesson, it was important. It taught you something. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to open yourself up to every experience that's out there in the world. This is similar to the boundaries conversation piece. Sometimes those barriers are there for a reason. You may need to enforce them with a person or a particular situation. And you may need to enforce those barriers. And the barriers are there for a reason. Enforce those barriers, but don't create barriers just across the wall because you are afraid of being hurt. You are here to learn. You're here to experience life. And those barriers may be preventing you from doing that. So allow yourself to experience life. But if you need the barrier with a particular person or a particular situation, then keep it. Scorpio, your card this week is mental repetition. What keeps repeating going on through your mind? That is the lesson that you need to tackle right now. Those mental repetitions, they're here for a reason. They're here to teach us something. Now, sometimes you'll have a thought circle around in your head and it's kind of like a brain worm, like music that replays itself constantly in your head. That may be something that you need to pay attention to, but it may not. But in this case, it's something that keeps repeating, keeps returning day after day. You're hearing the same lesson over and over and over again. This is the mental repetition that you want to pay attention to. Listen to it, see what it has to say, and then you can take that mental repetition and you can implement it. So, this is a time for you to pay attention to what it is that's repeating in your brain and then do something about it. What is your brain telling you that you need to create something, but you're too afraid to create it? Take little steps. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can do things in little tiny pieces and you will get there eventually. You don't have to turn your life upside down just because the universe is whispering something to you. But take progress towards resolving that mental repetition. And as you do it, the mental repetition will start to go away. So pay attention to the mental repetition this week and do something about it. Sagittarius, your card this week is learning. Learn something new this week. Be curious. Read a book. Take a new subject. Learn a new language. Travel somewhere new. All of these are within your wheelhouse, Sagittarius. They're all something that you enjoy doing naturally. So pay attention. What can you learn this week? And this may mean that you learn something new about yourself this week that you hadn't learned before. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go outside of yourself. You can still harness that energy within inside of you, but do something different with it. Learn a different approach, do a different way. Learning is learning. So be curious this week and see what the world has to say. You don't have to know everything. You just have to have a place to start. Capricorn, your card this week is progress. You like to have things built. You like to have the structure of things. You like to have things in place. You like to have an end point. But sometimes things aren't given based on the end point. They're given based off of the progress that we make, the things that we learn, the things that we move towards. It's the journey, not the destination, that's meant to be part of the story for you. So, what progress are you making this week? You may think that you're making none, but that's not necessarily true. You may be making more progress than you realize. So, allow the progress to speak for itself this week. It has something to say, it has something to tell you, and it may just teach you a new lesson that you need to learn. That progress in and of itself can be the story. Aquarius, your card this week is self love. It is important that you take the time and the opportunity to look at yourself and to love yourself exactly as you are, warts and all. There is nothing wrong with putting yourself first and having the courage to do that. If you need to do work in regards to learning to love yourself, do the mirror exercise. Stand in front of the mirror 30 days. Tell yourself that you love yourself. It's a process that can seem daunting to those of us that don't, but it is extremely important that you do. Love yourself enough to have the courage to stand up for yourself and to do the things that you know that you need to do for your own path. Other people don't determine your path, you do. So make sure that you love yourself this week and don't let other people's fear stop you from doing it. And Pisces, your card this week is respect. Respect yourself. Respect the energy around you. Respect the boundaries that you need. Don't let other people infringe upon them, as that seems to be part of the energy for right now. Respect is something that's important. It's something that we don't value enough in today's society. We oftentimes don't respect other people's opinions. This is a great time for you to respect other people's opinions. Now, respecting other people's opinions does not mean that you agree with them. And it does not mean that you just roll over for them. It means that they have an opinion, and it's an opinion. It's not true. It's not a fact. Respect what it is that you need to respect in your own life so that you can start to make progress on the other end. Remember, you're not lost. You're between stories. So let the messages find a place in your body, even if they don't make sense yet, because sometimes the most powerful knowing comes in the quiet after the card is pulled. So let the messages you received anchor your next step, even if you can't see the full map yet. Our sun and rising signs are codes that are layered, so let them sit, let them settle. And if you're craving deeper cosmic guidance and spiritual anchoring, come join me inside the Soul Keys Temple, my signature monthly membership. We look at the moon, we study the transits, and we anchor into the astrology of the moment through live sessions, reflection prompts, and potent transmissions. It's where soul meets structure, and where you're reminded that your path is sacred, even when it's messy. So you can find full details at www.soulheartintuitivecoaching.com, and you can always book a personal soul session with me if you want to go deeper one-on-one. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, and the magic will continue there. So here's to a week of sacred pivots, anchored clarity, and deep inner resonance. So stay tuned in, stay luminous, stay you, and I will talk to you next week.